Barca, Madrid, El Clásico over the weekend. Last week, Champions League saw the most goals in a match day. And Premier League action, we will go over it. Hi, my name is Diego Cerrone. And with me, the fellas, Coach John and Carlos in the mix. How we doing, fellas?
Pushing,
grinding
through
through
the week. Yeah, you go.
We're grinding.
Yes.
We're going.
That's
grinding,
it, man.
trying to get through the weekend.
Try to get to the weekend. That's
Carlos,
it.
I love the hat. The hat says fuck off respectfully.
I mean, as a Chelsea fan, just getting shit throughout the week, I think the hat's pretty fitting.
The hat's fitting for Chelsea, but also it's kind of like you're kind
It's
of
fitting
saying
for Madrid as well.
You're kind of saying fuck off to Lamine Yamal and other Barca fans.
Exactly.
Chupa.
Yeah, it was a big result over the weekend, big win. Probably one of the best Clásicos we've seen in a while.
It was
Football's
great.
back. Game's
Football
back.
is back. That is what we will. That is what we will go over in detail. I just wanted to highlight the new record of the highest scoring match day in Champions League. It was last week, match day 3 of the 2025-2026 Champions League, and it was 71 goals across 18 games. It actually beat the previous record set earlier.
Wow.
On match day 1. Obviously, there's more Champions League games, but still a lot of goals. Some of the games that were highlighted were PSG 7-2 over Leverkusen, Barcelona 6-1 against Olympiacos, and PSV 6-2 over Napoli. It also broke the single-day record. It was the first day of match day 3 alone, saw 43 goals, which was the most ever scored on a single day in Champions League. So a lot of goals in Champions League.
Wow.
We'll also go over Prem action, but I wanted to give you guys maybe like a 1 to 2 minute rant on your teams, because John is on the high with Arsenal. Good result in Champions League, good result in the Prem, 0 goals conceded again. And then Chelsea losing to Sunderland. Was it Sunderland?
Sunderland.
Chelsea losing to Sunderland 2-1. Was it at home as well?
At home
At Stamford Bridge. So I'll let Johnny go first and start with a high, and then we'll go low.
Winning is winning, no matter what, no matter how you do it. At the end of the day, you just get the results. So people who are hating, the hypocrites out there saying that football is now becoming boring due to Arsenal's approach to the game, absurd. You'd be happy with getting the 3 points no matter how, and dominating. So if you are watching these games, you see that Arsenal is dominating these games. You do see the opposition sitting on a low block in their 35, receiving the pressure, playing compact, working hard and defending. It's tough to break teams like that who are disciplined. Okay, Crystal Palace and other teams have done it, and other teams are going to keep doing that. So that's it. I think winning is winning. At the end of the day, Arteta has a job to do, and his job is to deliver a trophy. And if you're getting the ball into the back of the net and you're getting the 3 points at home, especially these games that we've dropped in prior seasons, that's it. That's all you can do.
How many games is that you guys haven't conceded in the Prem?
We haven't conceded in, I think, 4.
We also didn't concede in Champions League either, right?
Correct. Yeah, we haven't given up a shot in the last 3 to 4 games, or all of October, I think. Maybe one shot we've conceded. And the shot that we conceded was against Crystal Palace, and it was kind of like a half a header from Eddie Nketiah, and David Raya collected in the air, and they counted that as a shot on target for Eddie.
Yeah.
So we've only conceded three goals in the Prem. I think Raya has 10 clean sheets in 13 games. Something like that.
There's a lot of talk of 80s football back, 90s football back, which is, I guess, like kind of weird that that's the language being portrayed by the English media, right? Just defensive set piece football. But I feel like that's kind of been Prem football for a bit.
Yeah. It's always been that kind of football. It's always been direct. It's always been coaches have always found positives in set pieces, right? It's an opportunity to create a goal scoring opportunity. So for this to be something fucking brand new to people, or people acting like it's brand new, is absurd. If you can create an opportunity to score and it's a set piece, then why fucking not?
Yeah.
Whether it's a long throw in, whether it's a set piece out the box, whether it's a corner kick, you need to create you get to maximize all your opportunities to find the back of the net. And honestly, Arsenal play fluid football. They do have guys who can create now, but we're finding success in other places. And we're finding it heavily, right? But listen, I don't mind. Again, winning is winning.
I think just the English media is mad that, Arsenal has probably one of the lowest amount of open play goals in the league and are top of the league, off set piece. And it's fair. If that's how you're scoring, that's how you're scoring. A win's a win, right? I think media is just trying to flip the switch a bit.
They're biased, right? I've been I mean, Twitter does a really good job of kind of backtracking and finding all this like
Exposed takes.
exposing takes, right? And it's
It's the worst.
the beautiful thing about social media nowadays, right? So, hey, you can be hypocrites for one part of whatever, one team, and then when another team does it, then now you're exposed. So
I
it
think
is
it's
what it
easier to
is.
defend a set piece goal over open play goals in a way. No?
I don't know. I think I'm going to say as a player, it was more annoying to defend a set piece.
I mean, you have to stay
Then
disciplined. So
correct.
That
It's
sucks.
tough. Like a long
But
throw,
you
and I
can
hated
you can
those.
practice like heavily, defending set pieces.
Yeah, I agree. That's
But
tough though.
open play goals is just magic that happens throughout the field, right?
I see what you mean. So many moving pieces. Set
Mhm.
piece, as long as menu goal, as long as you have like a simple principle of trying to defend, you should be okay. But obviously, we've seen that it's tougher
Yeah.
in moments to defend. Yeah, well, great. I mean, Arsenal is clicking. I think the depth is showing. We'll see. We'll see during was it midweek? We got the Carabao Cup, FA Cup. What do we have this week?
I think Carabao Cup.
So we'll see more of the Arsenal's depth as more tournaments start to pop up. Carlos, Chelsea, bad weekend for you guys.
Yeah, bad weekend, but another weekend where you're really not surprised. It's a weekend where they dominate majority of the game, had most of the chances, but questionable subs by Maresca, right? That raises flags. Probably one of the only managers I see makes that many center back substitutions.
Yeah.
It's hard to build when your center back pairing it's different every single game. That and then when you're mid game changing the center back pairing, which I mean, it's one of the probably harder positions unless you're maybe adding another center back and playing 3 center backs. But to just pull out your center back to add in another center back, I don't get Maresca's thinking. And he took out Josh Hachimpong. I don't know how to say the last name, but he's honestly one of our better center backs as of the last few games. And he brings in Tosin, who good. He has good height and is good at, I guess, helping with defending set pieces or scoring set pieces. But I mean, honestly, he's not doing any of that. Chelsea's giving up long throwing goals in the 90th minute.
Yeah.
Not scoring their opportunities on their set pieces. And then just awful defending, right? He comes in holding the guy for 5 seconds and, who are they playing? Sunderland's offense flowing, running up, and it's just, brutal defending. In a game where Chelsea should have came away with 3 points. Right?
Yeah.
Another game where I think I maybe just mentioned it, but they're winning and then they concede and lose. It happened with Sunderland. It happened with Brighton. They were up. It happened with Fulham. They were up. No, Fulham. It happened with Brentford. I mean, they were up.
Yeah.
So that's 9 points that they should have had. And I think out of those 3 games, they came away with 1 point.
Need better.
And that's why they're in 9th place, right? You don't win a trophy that playing that way.
Yeah. Need better game management. From Maresca.
From Maresca. But hey, here we are.
What about United getting their 3rd win in a row against Brighton? It was scary towards the end, but hey, they're fighting back. And now, what are they? 4th in the standings.
6th, I believe.
Oh,
6th with the latest result. They were 4th by the end by the end of Sunday.
Yeah, they're 6th.
Yeah,
now they're 6th.
Yeah,
tied 6th, but 2 points off 2nd place. Bournemouth in 2nd place right now.
Yeah. Just
Sunderland
like we predicted,
in 4th, man. Exactly what we predicted.
It's too early to speak, but 3 wins is 3 wins. They're collecting them. You got to give credit where credit is due. Brighton is a tough team to beat, like we said last week. So, yeah, I mean, good result for United.
Yeah, I think it's good, obviously, for morale. I mean, I'm probably one of the biggest Ruben haters. So I think them building off this obviously was fantastic for him as a manager who I think we're solely thinking about his progression, he's sticking to his formation.
Yeah.
I think against Liverpool, I think obviously Liverpool's not at their best, and I think they were pretty open. Were they a little lucky, fortunate? Yeah, maybe, but sometimes you need that, right?
Yeah.
And against Brighton, you're up 3. I think it was 3-0, and then you concede 2 late goals, so you're kind of like playing close to the chest, and then you get a 4th for a cushion, but still, like you're giving up goals when you're not supposed to, and there's still kind of like little gaps in that, right? So, listen, I don't know who they have next. Do they have?
I think it's
Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Forest.
At Forest, so it's tough, right? They have big Sean Dyche, right? So
we
don't know what could happen.
We did say out of the 3 games, so they can hit the 5-game mark, so United's trying to cut his hair. We did say Brighton was probably the toughest. But
I think
it was tough because of the opponent, but they were home. Now Forest is away, correct?
correct. Yeah.
So a different element of difficulty, but I think we still think it's too early to call the 5 games in a row.
Yeah, I think
Potentially.
Forest would be more
Compact.
compact. Yeah, right, and more kind of disciplined defensively. Where I
Yeah.
think Brighton are a bit more. They're willing to play, right? Correct. So they'll leave like gaps and openings in certain parts of the field, which it obviously United
Yeah.
exposed. But I think it's gonna be completely different against Forest, where a bit more compact, bit more defensive, and we'll see. Who knows, right? But I mean, good for Ruben, good for United fans. I hate United. I hate Ruben. So I mean, I'm only gonna eat my words for these next 3 matches. But
Gotta
it
give
is what it
credit.
is.
Gotta give credit
Yep,
where credit is
correct.
due. We also need to mention Liverpool losing their 4th straight game in the Prem, dropping points left and right. Wow. I mean, obviously
on.
great for the both of you. More for Arsenal, obviously at the moment, but
Good for football.
good for football. Difficult moment for Slot. Definitely getting a lot of heat. I think the heat is deserved. So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. Let's see if they could bounce back. They did win midweek in Champions League, so that losing streak in total matches got cut off. But in the Prem, it's still 4 in a row.
And they have tough games coming up.
They don't get that much heat though. What
They've got some. They've got some.
but not enough.
They get trolled by people
Trolled is a
and
good word.
fans, but they don't get crucified by the media like
by
other
the
clubs do.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why.
I mean,
You
they're the
should-
champs. They're the champs. So I
Correct.
feel like he
You're
gets
the-
some slack.
No way. You're the champs. You spend that much money and you're losing games. Like you can't lose 4 in a row. They only
Yeah.
lost 6. I think I don't even know how many games they lost last year, but I think someone said something about like I think the most or like the average to win a trophy or win the Prem, you can't lose more than 6 games.
Yeah. Right.
And they're already
they
at
lost 4
4.
straight. Yeah.
Correct. So like that's like you're on thin ice in terms of like being crucified by the media. If it was
I mean-
any other club, you lose 4 in a row and you're of that standard and that stature, you're getting fucking cooked every single fucking day on Sky News. But Liverpool don't. They really don't get that bad.
I mean, there's obviously biases, but I also think because he won last year, it helps a little bit to loosen the heat. It's like, okay, he won last year, but the critics that are on him, you know, the guy has made his moves, brought in his players. We see Luis Diaz balling out, probably the best start he's ever had in his career in Bayern. Yeah, I mean, some questionable moves, a lot of money spent, and not the best start. 4 in a row. I don't think I've ever seen Liverpool lose 4 in a row.
Me neither.
It's been a long time, man.
But I don't think so. Yep.
Right?
So that's bad.
So it's new waters for Liverpool fans. Let's shift gears to the big game that happened over the weekend, El Clásico, Barca Madrid. Wow, I mean there was a lot of talk even pre-match, obviously with Lamine Yamal's comments, basically in short saying that Madrid gets favored in certain games and they get calls, you know, heavily on their side. That obviously didn't go or sit well with Madrid fans, players, etc. So you saw early on how aggressive people were against Lamine Yamal and some tough challenges in there, but it was very intense, I would say, and especially in the first half, right? I think the stadium was
Rocking.
was rocking, was
So
ready
good.
to erupt. Madrid, I think, came out flying, right? As they were expected to, honestly, because Barca pretty much handled them last season. So I think they had a lot to prove. So I think that they came with the right intensity. I think Xabi Alonso came with good pregame talk and strategy. Definitely had his players buzzing. Vinny was buzzing. Obviously, he got taken off. We can touch on that later on. But let me know how you guys felt watching the game. Obviously, Madrid come out on top 2-1. There was, I think, 1 or 2 goals that were called off by VAR, right? That Madrid
Yeah.
should have had. There was maybe a PK there as well. So nothing short of controversial. And then we'll obviously talk about the fight that happened at the final whistle.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it, the intensity for Madrid in that first half. I mean, for majority of the game, but that first half was needed, right? They had to prove a point. They had to show that they are Real Madrid and they're not the Madrid of what we saw last year, right? And they came out flying. All the players had fantastic performances. The midfield, they dominated. Defense, they dominated. Herrera had Lamine in his pocket. Mbappe is phenomenal. Vinny was phenomenal. I think the only downside of this performance was them not beating Barca by 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah.
They're way better than the 2-1 scoreline. So that would probably be the only downside of that performance over the weekend. I know you want to say something, Johnny. We talked
No,
about it a lot.
yeah, I think, listen, I think Xabi put his guys, I think he set them up for success. I don't know if you guys noticed the high line, the high pressure, the man-to-man coverage. So they suffocated Barcelona. Guys like Pedri, guys like De Jong, they weren't able to play that football because they restricted that part of the game for them. They made it very difficult with their tenacity, their aggression, the high level of just pure defending tactically when they weren't on the ball, right? And they were willing to win it back. They were willing to stop them from playing from the first whistle. And I think that was fantastic. I think for me, that was my favorite part. Just
And
seeing
The high press.
And that's how Mbappe got that goal, right? That was called off. It was a great finish, but I think it was the press by, what was it? Was it Guler?
I think Guler, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice seeing Mbappe and Vinny. Mbappe really run and chase them, right?
Right? I would agree with that.
I feel like we don't see that too often from Mbappe and Vinny. And because they lead that, they're the first wave of press.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the key points in that first half.
Yeah, that just shows you the other kind of like notch that they can turn it up, right?
Yeah.
Like if you do that part of the game, right, that defensive responsibility, you can unlock another kind of
Like
structure
level.
of attack. Yeah, level of attack, right? So, and then you have guys like Jude, Tuchemeni, who were fucking
Phenomenal.
spot on. Camavinga, spot on. Like that balance and that ability to just make it really difficult and suffocate the shit out of the best midfielders in the world and make them look like basically babies, little boys, right? So that was my favorite part. And I'm not a Madrid fan. I like just good football, and that I think Xabi, really stressed to them, right? I was watching clips before of like their training sessions and how he wanted them to press, and it fucking mirrored, right? So fantastic for Xabi. I've been raving about, I've been big Xabi supporter lately. I want him to succeed. I want him to succeed because I think he's implementing new things, and I think the things he's implementing are difficult. And they required a bit of courage, right? A lot of managers don't want to do that, especially when you're managing such a big club like Real Madrid, right? Because if anything goes wrong, that's it. You're done. Fan base turns on you really quickly, and you have no room for error, right? So I think him bouncing back from this win, especially if losing to Atletico Madrid, right? I think shows the kind of caliber of a manager that he can be with this team, right? So
yeah,
I'm excited for it. I would love Mbappe to keep racking up these goals and showing that. I think
off to a great start.
Yeah,
best
I think
player in the world, man.
I think he's the best player in the world right now. Starting this season, right when the campaign started, I think he's been on fire. Him and Harry Kane are the best.
Yeah, so a few thoughts, right? Talking about what Carlos said about Mbappe and Vinny really putting in the work, especially in that first half. They both have things to prove, right? Like Mbappe leaves PSG, and you see that video, right, of Luis Enrique telling him, like, if you don't defend, blah 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 blah, you're not gonna be that great of a player. And PSG go on to win without him. They win the Champions League without him. So now there's that little doubt in his head, like, all right, I need to prove myself again. And then you have Vinny, who hasn't really been settled in with this new Xabi Alonso side. And then I wanted to ask you, Carlos, like, he had such a good game, and then he gets taken off, and then obviously, tempers flare. Did that put a little like blemish,
mark on the game?
A mark on the game, like a sour taste?
To me, not at all. It just shows that he wants to play for this team, and he's giving it his all, and he wants more. To me, at least, I wasn't upset by it. I just thought he was so locked into this game like, hey, coming off, just hurt him, and maybe he didn't deal with it the right way. But that's just a conversation he can have and just learn from it. At the end of the day, I wasn't mad at it. To be fair, the boy was locked in.
Yeah, you would hope that he keeps using it as motivation. Again, he needs to, I feel like, still prove himself with Xabi. There's some things that maybe Xabi sees that he needs Vinny to improve. So I think great performances, like you said, from both of those guys. Obviously, the whole team in general. Yeah, Barca looked a little shook, I think, from just everything. The press, the intensity, they just weren't ready to match that atmosphere in that game. So I think it was a good win.
A lot of the blame, honestly, is, I think, on Lamine for riling up this Madrid team.
Yeah,
right?
fair.
Xabi probably took that video, posted it in the locker room, and told the boys to watch, right? Like,
why not, right? That's a perfect Bro, listen.
Fuel.
At the end of the day, right? People are gonna. You know what kind of frustrates me? That people say, "Oh, an 18-year-old is rattling you." No. At the end of the day, this guy has solidified him to be one of the best players in the world. The age no longer matters. There's no age. You step on the football field, everyone's the same, no matter how old you are. You
Yeah.
don't rattle. You're not. 18-year-old is not rattling anybody. It's Real Madrid versus Barcelona. It's a
1-1.
rivalry.
It's
1-1.
1-1.
It's a rivalry. It's a group of people versus another group of people, and then you have the team. And there's bad blood. There's hatred, and that's what it is. So for people to say that an 18-year-old is rattling adult like big boys, no. A Barcelona player is rattling a whole group of people and the other 22 guys that he's going to play against.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, once you say all these things, it must translate on the pitch between the white lines. That's it. Like
and usually he has
delivered
when he opened his mouth too early. This was one of those games where he did not.
But this is also one of the biggest things or biggest controversies he said right before Madrid game, talking about Madrid. Because we haven't seen that type of intensity or bad blood between these two teams in a very long time. Since like Ronaldo and Messi era.
I love it, though.
I love it. It makes you feel like if Clásico's back, right?
Yeah, he's probably sparked the old bad blood.
The new era.
The new era.
Yes. Lamine just sparked.
Yeah, but I love it because guess what? It can go either two ways for Lamine. Either he can keep keep having these poor performances against Madrid and they'll keep cooking him in the media, or he's going to step it up a notch and make this rivalry a bit more intense and a bit more better. I mean, a bit better for neutral viewers, at least. Guys like me who want to watch. Like I said it, I'm like, I do want to see Lamine see if he can stick to his shit talk, but I also want to see Lamine get fucking cracked. Yeah, I want to see both. I want to see a flying tackle go in and maybe miss, and then I want to see one that connects. I'm a neutral viewer, dude. I gotta love both sides of it. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean the fight post game. So if anyone who hasn't seen it, towards the end of the game or at the final whistle, Danny Carvajal basically goes to Lamine and says like, "Yeah, you did all this talking, and now what?" Basically. And Lamine was telling him like, "Hey, let's meet in the locker room. Let's meet back in the tunnel." And obviously everybody gets involved. Courtois, I think, came in and started shoving some people. He came in pretty hot. I think Vinny, when he got subbed off, he like left, but then he
went down the
somehow
tunnel.
like he went down. But then during that fight, he was back in the mix.
He came back, yeah.
And then when Lamine was walking away, Vinny started talking shit to him, and then they were both going at it and about to go to the tunnel. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's not the first time that we've seen the young Barca and the young Madrid have these little scuffles, but this one felt a little different.
It just felt like the old era, right? Just two
It's
teams that
personal.
don't like each other. It's personal.
It's
A
personal.
little more
friends.
personal, yeah.
A bit more personal.
What we've seen in the last couple of years is, them after the game shaking hands, Rafinha talking with Vinny and Rodrigo, chopping it up. Like, we don't want to see that as Madrid and Barca fans, right? We want to see them fucking go at each other and show why these two teams.
It reminds me like all this. You know how back in the day, obviously, like you had the national team, the Spanish national team. Half was Madrid or half was Barcelona.
Yeah.
And then they would beef on the field.
They would
no matter what. They would
Yeah.
hate each other, and that's okay because that's what it means to play for Barcelona, and that's what it means to play for Real Madrid. So seeing Vinny and Rafinha go at it on Sunday, fucking scenes, man. That's exactly what you want to see.
Rafinha was in like normal clothes, right? 'Cause he didn't play. But as Vinny was going or charging Lamine, Rafinha like sprinted and stepped in front. It's pretty wild to see, honestly.
I like it because at the end of the day, you have a responsibility for the badge you play for, and that's your responsibility. Now, once you go back to international break, you have your chat, son amigos again. You guys are best buds, and you guys represent another team. That's different, and that's I think at the professional level, you have to be able to separate the two.
I think it's understood.
Of course.
You mentioned, that old Spain team that had half Barca, half Madrid. I mean, Di Maria said in one of those videos, he said he's like, I couldn't understand how, in Spain that they were buddies, but when we played against each other, they just wanted to kill each other. And especially like a Sergio Ramos, right? Like pretty much shoving Carlos Puyol's face, Piqué, right? All these guys like were rowdy in these games, but the intensity has turned up.
Football's back, man.
Yes.
Game's not gone.
No, it's not.
Key game, honestly, right? Because like you guys mentioned, Madrid stumbled against Atletico, so they needed to bounce back. Barca has had a pretty decent start to the season, so maybe this game it might be the difference that splits them up, because I don't see them dropping as many points, as they maybe typically have in the past. So will be interesting to see how this one game can be a determining factor later on.
Yep, exciting.
Wanted to close out and shout out the two Ecuadorian teams that are in semifinals of South American competitions. Independiente del Valle, by the time that we post this, will either be in the final of the Sudamericana or will end as semifinalists. They play Atlético Mineiro
Tonight?
Wow.
at 8:30. Yeah, tonight.
Wow.
And then Liga de Quito with a stellar performance over Palmeiras, who have been recent champions of the Copa Libertadores. They belt ass to Palmeiras 3-0 in Quito. And then now
Is that your team?
yeah, Liga's my team for sure.
And I think you texted in the chat like this was the Ecuadorian football you grew up on, right?
Yeah, man.
So, like, just talk about what that is for like people who might not know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Liga in the like early to mid 2000s, they had a really strong team. They were always competing in like round of 16 quarterfinals of Libertadores, and that team was a really strong foundation to the national team. And so the way Liga played against Palmeiras last Thursday was high intensity, fast, dynamic. The wingers, bombing forward. It wasn't always the prettiest football, but there was so many moments where it was just connect, and then wingers bomb forward, and then the wingers get a cross in. We had people
Service.
shooting from like 30, 35, 40 yards out. They were really using the altitude to their full advantage, right? And that's just something that obviously has been missing with the national team, right? Too many individualistic performances up top, not enough connecting. Liga really, man, they threw it all out there. They really just threw it all out there, and
They
that's
whooped their ass.
that's the stuff that
Belt
we're
ass.
missing, man.
They whooped their ass.
They
bro.
really did. They suffocated them. Almost same thing as Madrid to Barca, right? Like high press, really using everything, all our tools to our disposal. We threw it all at them in that first half, and it was what? I think it was 2-0 or 3-0 by halftime. It was a nutty game. And
Mhm.
that's what Ecuador needs, man.
And I guess that is what Ecuadorian football is, right? That high press, that fullbacks running up, shooting from
Dynamic.
30 out.
Dynamic.
Dynamic running, right? Like maybe Bacasese just needs to look a little more into the Ecuadorian league and bring some of those players up, right?
I mean, that's it's not top 5, so he doesn't look.
Doesn't look that way.
Man, the guy that I told you guys about, Brian Ramirez, had an absolute fantastic game. Got the assist in
Yeah.
that third goal. He got the red at the end, but guy was one of the best players on the field. He was on the 2 windows in this past window for Becasese, didn't play a single minute. So that really tells you the whole story right there. But yeah, man, Liga really, really brought me back to the good old times, right? Of Jofre Guerrón and Bolaños and, these players that were just
Bolaños was a baller, bro.
1v1.
Crazy.
You did not want to be next to them, man. You did not want to be next to them. And yeah, man, them shooting from 30, 35, 40 yards out. Use the altitude, man. Use the altitude to their advantage. The players now, obviously they all play in Europe. They're not used to the altitude anymore, so they prefer to play in Guayaquil. But man, it was great. It was
You
great.
could shed a tear.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. So that'll be an exciting game on Thursday in the Alliance Park in Sao Paulo. I mean, Palmeiras has everything to do the remontada and tie the game and go to PKs, right? It's a 3-goal deficit for Palmeiras. It is not much, to be honest. And Liga are probably going to do the same thing they did in Sao Paulo, right? They're going to sit back, they're going to pray, and then they're going to hopefully get one counterattack goal and make it 4. So we'll see, but I definitely couldn't end the pod without shouting out Liga and Independiente on a stellar first game in both their South American tournaments.
Love it.
Shout out to Kevin Mariscal.
Yeah, he's a Liga fan.
That's true. He is a Liga fan.
He's a Liga
Oh, that's
fan.
right. We have to
he's
close
a
out
Liga
with a new segment that we want to call Howler of the Week or Howlers of the Week.
Man.
So it seems like you both are prepared with some. So who wants to start first?
I think Johnny should go first.
Oh no. I mean,
I'll go first. I mean, simple, right? My howlers of the week has to be Enzo Maresca, Tosin, and Chalaba for just the blunder of what that last play was. 2v1, the one guy from Sunderland and them just watching him for 6 seconds. Literally, I think there was a video of the clock showing and 6 seconds of none of them moving. I think Tosin just, I think, had 2 fingers on him.
Yeah.
But I mean, put a shoulder, a forearm, an elbow, something, make him feel uncomfortable. Alaba press, right? And Enzo, taking off the best center back of the game for Tosin, and that happens. It's just diabolical defending from Tosin and Chalaba, and for that, they are my howlers of the week.
No debate there, John.
I don't have anyone famous. I have a humble guy from Belleville. His name is Kevin Mariscal. He's a Madrid fan, and he's my howler of the week just because of the blatant disrespect that he's had for Xabi Alonso. Like we said, I think it's been a great start for him at Madrid. Top of the league, cleared 5 points on top, right? I think what he's implementing is difficult, different kind of approach to the game, but Kevin doesn't see it that way. Kevin's more like, I want the best football now, and it's not kind of going through the growing pains, and he's been saying, like, we need Xabi out of here. Big game Xabi doesn't exist. The lights are too bright for Xabi. Watch us just drop results to the big teams, and boom. I think the win against Barcelona was my time to kind of pounce on Kevin and be like, hey, listen, he tactically got it right? He did what he needed to do, and when I said that, Kevin there's no positivity from a Madrid fan coming from him, and that's what I'm kind of trying to get out of him, and he's kind of like resistant with that. So you're my howler of the week with that one, because I think Xabi is implementing certain things. And I think he can mix things up a bit, and beating Barcelona was something every Madrid fan wanted. And I think for Kevin, he wanted it the most. And I know he was happy, and I know he was happy the way Xabi got the boys to play, but he would never admit that. He will never admit that. Nope. So he's just praying for his downfall. And Madrid fans shouldn't be that way. Madrid fans should be happy with the start that he's having. Should be happy with the start that their best players are having, like Mbappe.
Yeah.
But I know there's other things that, that people might want that might not have it just yet, but stick by him. I know things will be difficult here and there, but come on, man. You have to support your team no matter what. So he's my howler of the week.
Wow.
Because he's a knobhead. He's a knobhead.
Because he's a
Kevin Mariscal.
Kevin Mariscal from Belleville, New Jersey.
Man, we definitely got to bring him on one day. I wasn't prepared, but I'll just say howler of the week, definitely Lamine Yamal, right? We talked in length, but you talk all that smack, definitely didn't live up to par in the game. And I think it obviously got to him, right? All the clapping back that he got post game. He's still young, tempers flare, didn't compose himself as he should as a superstar. But again, he's a young kid. He makes mistakes, but this was definitely a learning lesson for him that you're not always going to have your best game, when you talk shit before like he's been having. So I think it's a crucial moment for him because, he's obviously had some weird injury, right, in his pubic area. There's some controversy about like how, he had this wild birthday party in preseason. Now he's dating some girl, and there's just too much noise going around that he hasn't set himself up for success, especially the season right before the World Cup. Right. So I think he's definitely feeling some growing pains, and let's hope this Madrid game was a wake up call, slap in the face, get yourself together and pick yourself up, because right now it's not good. It's not good. So howler of the week, Lamine Yamal.
Go on.
Fellas.
Come on now.
It was a great episode. We'll catch up on the next one, guys. I'll see you next week.
All right. See you soon.
Vamos.